My name is Katherine, and I'm a detective. My last encounter shaped the darkest moments of my life. I crossed paths with a man named Jack Harlow, and after that night, he vanished without a trace. But this isn't my story, it's his. After escaping from me, Jack had changed his identity once again, fully embracing the alias, the Wandering Shadow. 2 weeks into his fugitive life, he walked into a small-town bar on the outskirts of nowhere. The sky was a dismal gray, and rain had soaked his black suit. He paused under the bar's neon glow, took a deep breath, and stepped inside. The bar smelled of stale cigarettes and faint whiskey. Wooden tables, scattered patrons laughing softly, and an old blues record playing in the corner created a hauntingly familiar atmosphere. As always, Jack closed his eyes for a brief moment, listening. He could sense who might be dangerous and who might be prey. That's when he noticed her, a woman sitting alone at the bar. She was swirling a glass of red wine, scribbling idly in a small notebook in front of her. Her blonde hair fell messily over her shoulders, and her face bore a tired yet elegant expression. For a brief moment, her eyes met Jack's. In that instant, Jack knew he had found his mark. He approached her. "Being alone at this hour takes courage," he said softly. The woman glanced up at him, hesitating for a moment before replying, "Sometimes, being alone is the best option." But Jack caught the tremor in her voice. "If you'd rather I leave you in peace, I understand," Jack offered with a gentle smile. She considered his words before gesturing toward the empty stool beside her. Jack took the seat and ordered a whiskey. Her name was Elena. As Jack engaged her in conversation, he unearthed her loneliness. Elena had been divorced for a year, trying to rebuild her life in this quiet town. Jack listened intently, each of his questions serving as a key to unlock her defenses. "Who are you, Jack?" she asked, her voice more relaxed now. "What brings you here?" Jack took a thoughtful sip of his drink. "I'm just a traveler," he said. "I go wherever life takes me. Maybe I'm searching for myself." Elena tilted her head slightly, studying him. "A traveler. That sounds romantic. But also lonely." Jack paused, a faint smile crossing his lips. "Loneliness can be a loyal companion," he replied. Elena's trust was completely ensnared by Jack's manipulative charm. As the night deepened, Jack learned more about her vulnerabilities, using them as a guide to navigate her emotions. For him, every encounter was part of his ritual, a game where he collected stories, weaving them into his dark tapestry. When the evening drew to a close, Elena offered to walk him to her home. Jack saw this as an invitation. "Only if you're sure," he said, smiling once again. Elena nodded. "Yes, I'd rather not go back alone tonight." Her home was warm and inviting, filled with a comforting coziness. Jack took in every detail of the room as Elena disappeared into the kitchen to fetch another bottle of wine. He scanned the shelves, noting the framed photographs, a wedding picture, family vacations, moments of a life now fractured. Each image became another piece of her story, etched into Jack's memory. When Elena returned with 2 glasses of wine, Jack turned to her. "You have a beautiful home," he said. "It seems like your memories mean a lot to you." Elena smiled faintly. "They do. But sometimes, memories can be heavy." For a fleeting moment, Jack focused on the pain etched into her face. It was the signal he had been waiting for. But just as Jack began to make his move, Elena's demeanor shifted. She noticed something unsettling in the way he studied the room, his movements calculated, predatory. "Who are you, Jack?" she asked again, but this time her voice was firm. Jack hesitated, his mask faltering. "I'm just a traveler," he repeated, but his tone was colder now. "No," Elena insisted. "You're hiding something. I want to know who you are and why you're here." Jack maintained his calm, stepping back slightly. "You're misunderstanding me," he said. "But maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have come here tonight." Without another word, Jack slipped out the door and disappeared into the dark, rainy streets. Elena couldn't sleep that night, haunted by the mystery of who Jack really was. Meanwhile, Jack was already moving forward, crafting another story in another place. For he was the wandering shadow, and in his shadowy world, no encounter was ever innocent.
Jack may be here, maybe right next to you.